Recently, I had an opportunity to watch the documentary 13th by Ava DuVernay. Incredible job she did on documenting the history of the development of the prison system in this country from the end of slavery until right now, and many of the policies that went in place to help that prison population explode, especially over the last 2 decades. And as I was watching it, going through that process and processing a lot of emotions and feelings, but also thinking through, okay, then what do we do? What's next? How do we create these solutions? One very simple thought has come to my mind. I want to share that with you and figure out, okay, how do we really make this happen? And the focus simply is jobs versus jails. Jobs versus jails. It seems that so much of our attention, and rightly should be focused on, the crime and what happens in the prosecution of the crime and making sure that that process is fair, right? But I don't think we spend enough time focused on how do we prevent crime? How do we create environments and opportunities that actually help people not put themselves in that position or feel like they have to get in those positions, right, to do things that they're going to get caught and sent to jail for? And I know this is not a simple conversation. It's not a simple solution. But one thing I think that is important that we need to really consider is that people need jobs. But where do these jobs come from? Because if we look historically in this country, they haven't come from government creating jobs. That doesn't happen, and the government is not the greatest economic engine. You know what is? Small businesses. Small businesses are the economic engine of this country. They are the job creators if we look at it from a broad-based perspective. So why haven't we put kind of those two and two together to say we need to build up the capacity of small businesses so that they can actually create more jobs for those who need them the most? It's a very simple premise, but I don't hear too many people talking about this. And again, I'm sure they are having conversations, and when I say they, people, I'm sure all over. But to me, there hasn't been a concerted effort, right, community-wide and nationwide, to say let's build up our small business infrastructure so that we actually can create more opportunities for those who need them the most. And this is a serious economic issue, because even if we look at how much it costs taxpayers, that's me and you, those who pay taxes, right, to actually house inmates. On an average, it costs from $14,000 per year per inmate all the way up to $60,000 in the highest state, right? The highest state is at 60,000 something. The lowest is at 14. So on average, it's about 31 across the country. $31,000 to house an inmate per year per inmate. You know what? That's higher than a lot of states spend on their actually to educate one student, right? We spend more money in many cases housing prisoners than we do on educating students. That right there is backwards by itself, but I'm not going to go too deep into that. But just to give you a perspective on how can we prevent crime, right? And again, I know it's a long argument and a lot of goes into that, but one solution is definitely creating job opportunities. And to me, the source to go to that is not the government, but it's to the small business community and providing resources and infrastructure and incentives for more small businesses to do what they do best, right? Be the economic engine of this country and help create jobs. And again, it's not a simple conversation, not a simple solution, but this is something to get that conversation started. And I want to be involved in that, and hopefully you do too. And as I go along and move forward, you're going to hear me talk a lot more about this because, again, I think it needs to be not only discussed, but we need to develop solutions that help small businesses grow that also now can be connected to communities that need jobs. So please come along on this journey with me. Again, my organization, Kinsman Community, that I started with my wife, we're focused on helping develop youth and young adults to help them get prepared for the workforce, whether it be as entrepreneurs or employees. Because we know we can't just help small businesses create jobs and then now you have an unprepared workforce in terms of youth and young adults to come into those jobs, right? We got to marry the two solutions together, helping the small business create infrastructure, but also preparing youth and young adults for the workforce more effectively. And again, I'm committed to doing both. I'm committed to working on both sides, helping both groups, entrepreneurs and employees, those who want to create jobs and those who need jobs, come together to create sensible and economic and prosperous solutions that benefit both communities. So to learn more about what we're doing in this area to contribute solutions in terms of jobs versus jails, please join me at paulwilsonjr.com, as well as you can visit our nonprofit organization, Kinsman Community, at mykinsman.org.